What's going on, guys? My name is Naz and you are watching the Spooling Up channel. Today I'm back in the MK4 GOLF GTI, and I know I haven't done anything for a little while on this car, but I've been busy with lots of other stuff and I've also been waiting for parts. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a front bumper swap. So I've got an R32 style replica bumper that's just literally come in the post. I think I waited about 2 months for it, but basically what it is the company have bumpers in stock, or they request them from a supplier and then they will spray them to order for you. So it's finally come. All I've got to do first is wash the car, and then I'm literally going to just take this old bumper off. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to put the new R32 bumper on. So it's going to be wicked. Been waiting for it for absolutely ages. It's one of the things that I've always wanted to do to this car. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, the front of the car is completely cleaned. Well, not just the front of the car, the whole car, but I didn't want to leave it really dirty and go and put a brand new, clean, freshly painted bumper on an already ridiculously dirty car. So what I'm going to do now is start slowly stripping it and remove this bumper, unpackage the new one and see what it looks like. Right, so first things first, what we want to do is remove this center grille section, but obviously the bonnet release mechanism is here. So what you have to do is literally flick the handle off on that side and on this side, and then that should come off, and then we can start stripping this middle grille. Right, so once you've got that off, it's pretty simple. You can literally just begin to pull it and it should begin to free up on the front. That appears to be broken there, but so I'm going to just prise all of this off and it should just come off as one unit, and it should reveal a couple of screws along the front of the actual bumper for us to remove after. Right, so as you can see, it is really free on the front. There's just one little bit in here that needs to be pushed. It's a little clip, and then that will release the rest of this, guys. Be really careful. Look, somebody's already had this off. It's broken here, it's broken here, so just be really gentle because these bits are fragile. So once you've had the grille removed, you reveal all of these Torx screws around the inside of the bumper here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to spin those off, and then we'll move on to the next bit. I'm just going to use a screwdriver, or you can use a socket and a ratchet, obviously, with a little insert to drive all these bits off. I almost forgot to mention as well, might be a good idea to strip your license plate off your OEM bumper or whatever bumper you've got on there before, just while it's here, so you don't have to do it while it's on the floor. It might be a bit more difficult. So just literally going to use my Phillips to strip this number plate off, and then we can get on with doing the other screws and little bits and bobs. Looks pretty cool without the license plate on it, actually. They actually ruin the look of cars, really. Anyway, just wanted to show you this bumper, OEM one, wasn't fitting fantastically anymore around the front, especially coming over to this side. You can see it sticking out here, and yeah, just generally it's not in terrible condition, but wanted to change the look of the car. The back one's worse. I think I'll be going for an R-line bumper on the back, but it's roasting, as you can see by my face, all the sweat. Whatever you do as well, once you take that bonnet lever off, don't close the bonnet, because it will be difficult to get it back open. But yeah, let's strip the last couple of bits now and rip this old one off. So next thing, if you're able to, what you want to do is turn the wheels all the way pointing in, so you can reveal these Torx screws on the inside liner. And we're literally going to go for this one, that one there, that one there, and the bottom one also, and then that should free up this side of the bumper on the driver's side. And then we're going to literally come round to the passenger side and do the same thing. Get rid of those, and then that should free up our front bumper. So I'm going to crack on with that now. As expected, it seems like the bumper's already been off and someone's lost some of the screws, because some of them are Torx. On the passenger side they're these Torx ones, and on the driver's side we've got a mishmash of these rubbish little Phillips ones. So what I'll do is I'll just mix and match them, so that I've got a couple of OEM ones on one side and a couple of these other ones on the other side, just so that one side isn't sort of held on better than the other. And then when I get a chance I will try and buy some more of the correct ones. But a few more bits still on the front before we pull the bumper off. So I'm gonna pop the camera down and I'm gonna pull off these front grills. Pretty easy. This reveals another Torx screw here on the inside, and exactly the same on the other side here. So I'm gonna undo those and then hopefully it should slide off. And then there we go, there's a little OEM intercooler there behind. Alright, so fingers crossed now. I'll be expecting the whole thing to come off. Gonna be careful because it's still a pretty good nick. I don't want to drop it on the floor and scuff it all up, so let's go for it. There we go, lovely. Just gonna go and put this somewhere safe. Right, nice and easy. Looking really mean, you know, without a proper front end on it. Yeah, so here we got the little side mounted baby intercooler. If any of you guys are interested, that'll be coming out soon, but this is where it's mounted if you didn't know. And this is the crash bar that we'll be trimming so that we can accommodate the intercooler, so on and so forth. But that'll come at a later date. So everything's looking pretty good down here, pretty straight. All I'm gonna do now is unpackage that new bumper and have a look at it. Pretty easy job actually this. So when it comes to doing the intercooler and everything as well, I know that it's not gonna be too taxing, and I'm glad that this bumper swap out so far, touch wood, it's been easy. I still haven't even seen the bumper. I'm hoping it's in good nick, but yeah man, let's get this finished off and throw it on. Right, it's time for the big reveal now. See what's going on. Looking good so far. We're looking good so far. Look at that, man. Look at that. That is perfect, man. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Just give me a second, let me put this camera down and unwrap the rest of it. You know what, man? This is looking special, man. It's been sprayed perfectly as well. It looks wicked. Absolutely wicked, man. Can't wait to throw this on the car now. So I'm gonna just have a quick inspection of it. There's a couple of marks on it, but it's just from polish and stuff like that. So just gonna have a good look over it, make sure that I'm 100% happy with it before I start putting it on the car, and then that's it, man. It's gonna go on. Just to show you guys as well, this is ABS plastic, this bumper. It's not fiberglass, it's not genuine either, but at least it's a plastic auto panel. I didn't really want to mess around with fiberglass, but here we go, that's it. It's missing the mounting bits at the back here that were on the original OEM bumper, but it's all good, man. Let's get this on and see what it looks like. Right, so just starting to fit it now at the minute. Just gonna have to go around, it may take a little while, and just sort of push the bumper on in certain places and make sure we get a nice clean fit on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so this is what we're dealing with. bumper's on, it's looking great. I'm gonna go ahead and put that grille on and show you guys there. I've come across a few problems, I'll show them to you guys now, and I'll just have a think about what I'm gonna do to fix it all up. But it's looking pretty good at the minute, but we'll have a closer look in a sec. This is what the front bumper looks like. It's pretty nice. Already thinking to myself that I would like to get the grills sprayed black rather than having such a shiny silver, but here we go, man. Definitely looking a lot better than OEM. A few problems I'd just love to highlight to you guys now. Doesn't fit very well, so what I'm thinking about doing is taking it to a local guy that I know to see if he can trim anything to try and get these to fit better. It's almost as if the bumper's the slightest bit too wide or long for the car, but other than that, it's absolutely brilliant. So if anything can be trimmed on this to make it fit better, I'm gonna get that done. And then once I get the wheels on this car, it's gonna look banging. But right now, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The front of it looks a lot neater and a lot meaner. Right guys, so I've just popped out in the Golf since I've done the front bumper. First drive since then, first drive in a little while actually. I thought I'd show you guys what it looks like in a different light. So this is a little bit darker now. Don't have the sun shining on it completely. And it's looking pretty good, man. I'm happy with it, you know, although there are some bits that I'd love to change, like the gaps and so on and so forth. I've done my best to sort of have a look at them, and there's not much that I think I can do. Needs a professional person to look at it, but when you buy things that aren't genuine, that's what you get. So I'm gonna leave it like this for now, but I'm happy because it means that I can fit my front mount intercooler behind it and not have to do loads and loads of trimming. I know it still requires trimming, even with the R32 bumper, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than that original OEM GTI one. So I'm glad that's all done now, guys. So yeah, next thing, or I'm not too sure what I'm going to do next. Got to start looking at money and stuff because the intercooler that I want's expensive, but that's another thing out of the way and another box ticked. And I need to get the wheels back on there as well. I know some of you guys have been asking about that, so as soon as I get a chance I'll do that too. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now since I recorded the last part of this video. If you can remember me saying I needed to order some screws and fixings for the inner wheel arches, because some of those in there, it looked like someone had taken bits off before and lost the screws and stuff. So I managed to get the threaded plate fixings and the torque screws for the inner wheel arches. I've also done some research on the fitting of this bumper. Some people change the guides on the bumper, which are on the bumper just where it clips on underneath the headlights and sort of round by the wings, but unfortunately that's not going to change the shape of this bumper, so that's not really going to solve my problem here. And also there are spacers down the bottom of the bumper at the inner wheel arches, because the R32 bumper is actually supposed to fit a little bit wider, and the R32s come with these spacers and you can only really get them genuine. So I've also ordered those and I'll have to fit them, but I'll have to try and fit that into another video because they're going to take a month to come from Germany. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to change those screws over now, and I'll show you guys exactly where those spacers go and how it sort of makes a difference to the bumper, because the inner wheel arches don't line up perfectly. Right, so I'll now show you what I'm talking about. If you try and fit this normally, you'll get an overlap there where the inner wheel arch doesn't fit inside. You can just trim this if you like, but there's a plate that you can buy which will fit in here, in between this gap, and it will basically hold the bumper out here where it should be, rather than being in here and overlapping with the inner wheel arch. So all I've got at the minute is I'm letting it overlap slightly until those plates come, and I've just got a longer screw that will go through and fit through there. So that's it. Yeah, literally it's like a plate, and it will just Obviously it's got holes in it as well, so it will just fit in here and keep the space at the bottom, and it's the same both sides. But for now, all I'm going to do is replace those screws that need replacing and wait for those plates to come. Right guys, so as usual, I hope you've enjoyed the video. We've now come to the end. That's the R32 bumper swap complete. Well, I say complete, there are still some things that need to be done, but the bumper's on the car. Just got to wait for those spacer plates down the bottom, and hopefully get someone to help me have a look at the gaps around the edge of the bumper. And then that'll be the front end of this complete, and then it'll be intercooler, so on and so forth. So also as well guys, thanks to any of you guys that have come along to the channel, watched any of the videos, subscribed, commented or whatever. More stuff coming on the Fiesta for sure, more stuff coming on the Golf. I've just had a couple of bits to sort out, servicing, MOTs, got to get a cam belt done on this as well. So just a few bits and bobs holding me back from doing all the really exciting stuff at the minute, but there'll definitely be more content to come guys, so keep on watching and I'll see you soon.